This video was made in partnership with ExpressVPN. Use my link in the description to get 3 free bonus months on a 12-month plan. What's going on, guys? This is AndrewChicken and welcome back to another video. Jenos is considered to be one of the best supports in Paladins for his easy and effective buffing capability through Luminary, which can give a substantial damage buff to any champion he puts his Astral Mark on. Combine that with his Void Grip, which can give his team easy kills, and a powerful ultimate that can one-shot most squishy champions, and he's a very powerful support to have. But what if I were to tell you that this champion also happens to be the worst healer in the game? Let me explain. So you might be wondering how one of the supports who gets frequently banned and ranked is somehow the worst healer in the game. Well, this becomes a lot clearer when you actually break down the math on his Astral Mark and compare it to other sources of healing in the game. Jenos' Astral Mark does a burst healing of 300 when you initially put it on a target, and then heals for an additional 1800 health over 10 seconds, which sounds nice until you realize that it's only 180 healing every second. This is stupendously low, and is absolutely garbage when you realize the fact that Ashe can heal herself for more healing per second than Jenos can. Ashe has a card that she can put in her loadout which gives her 50% lifesteal, and it's very common among Ashe players. In fact, I'd say it's almost mandatory in a good Ashe loadout, since it's so valuable. Ashe consistently deals 400 damage every 0.9 seconds, or roughly 444 damage a second. If we divide that in half to get the amount she heals per shot, it equals about 222 healing per second, or 200 healing per shot. And that doesn't include the fact that sometimes she can hit multiple people with one shot, getting a little bit of extra bang for her buck when it comes to healing. This means that Ashe is literally a better healer than Jenos when it comes to healing herself, since her sustain isn't on a cooldown and it heals her for more healing per second than Jenos' Astral Mark. But of course, Ashe isn't the only non-healer who stacks up higher healing numbers than Jenos. Dredge is another character who most people would consider a low-tier champion given his unreliability and general tendency to feed half-shell, power siphon, and other things you're not supposed to shoot. However, this champion has some crazily powerful healing capabilities for himself, even surpassing Ashe when you run the talent Hurl. Dredge can heal himself for a maximum of 250 health per second while near his portals, which by itself is enough to make him a better healer than Jenos when he camps at one spot. But if you go Hurl with the card Immortal Skewer, you can heal for 400 health every second, as long as you hit your harpoons. This stacks with the healing from his portals, and it can also be amplified by the card Sea Dogs when he's at low health for even more healing. This puts Jenos' healing to shame, and it makes him almost completely independent from needing a healer at all. But hey, at least Jenos can stack 2 or 3 marks on the same target at once, right? Well, wrong. If Jenos remarks a target who's already marked, it doesn't double the healing output until the first mark runs out. Instead, it just refreshes the duration of the first mark and applies the 300 burst healing again. So no matter what Jenos tries to do, he can only heal a single target for 180 healing per second when they don't get Rejuvenate. And even when a teammate does get Rejuvenate, it barely helps them out at all due to the way Rejuvenate works. You see, Rejuvenate buffs the healing output from your teammates based on a percentage of the healing they do, capping out at 15% bonus healing. So, if someone heals you for 1000 HP, Rejuvenate will give you 150 bonus healing when it's maxed out. Since Jenos has a measly 180 healing per second, Rejuvenate does next to nothing to help. 15% of 180 is a minuscule 27 bonus healing you'll be getting per second, which is almost nothing. So even with Rejuvenate, Jenos barely passes 200 healing per second on a single target. Of course, Jenos usually has about 2 to 3 marks out at any given moment, which means he's sort of a group healer. But if you add up the healing per second on 3 different champions he has a mark on at any given moment when he's maxed out Chronos, it only adds up to 540 healing per second, split across 3 people. Grok does more healing than that with his staff alone on a single target, and his base totems do 300 healing per second and have the potential to heal his entire team if they all group up inside of them. Of course, realistically you're only healing 1 or 2 people with a Grok totem, but even then it's still more healing per second than you'll get with an Astral Mark. And of course, Grok is a champion that isn't really known for being a super strong healer. What about someone like Furia or Maldamba? With Cherish, Furia heals for 1400 healing every 3 seconds, or roughly 467 healing per second, just in a burst form, and she gets even more healing on a target based on how much health they have missing. Damba can get 325 per second with his Gourd, and can heal multiple people with it just like a totem, and this also stacks with a single target heal on Mending Spirits, which grants an additional 325 healing per second, and this isn't even considering either of his 2 talents, which can greatly increase his healing output on both methods. Both of these healers blow Jenos out of the water in terms of the effectiveness of their healing, particularly on tanks, and they do a much better job restoring health in the face of the high DPS their teammates can face. And if we really want to put Jenos to shame, let's compare his healing to Pip, the juggernaut of high healing output. Pip heals for 750 healing per second just off his primary fire alone when going combat medic, and it can sometimes heal multiple teammates if they're grouped up tightly. Pip also has a massive potion which can heal for 1000 health in a large area when using his Radius card, and he can throw it immediately after shooting to give a burst of 1750 healing to one target, and heal surrounding targets for an additional 1000 healing. And with the card reload, he can do it again almost immediately after, giving him a sequence that looks like shoot, potion, for 3500 healing on a single target in roughly 2 seconds, and 2000 healing on targets surrounding him. And while his potion is on cooldown, he can still heal for 750 per second on one target. If I were a tank, I know which healer I would choose, and it wouldn't be the one who gives me a single mark that does 180 healing a second. Now, of course, there is a case to be made for how easy Jenos is to use. He can heal through walls, has an auto-aim heal, and some decent range from which he can apply his marks. Compared to Pip, he's much more reliable, since Pip needs to hit all his shots to be effective, and he usually needs line of sight on his potion, although it can slightly go through walls. However, I don't think this is enough to excuse the pittance of a heal that Jenos provides. It's so tiny, and Rejuvenate doesn't help him out at all. Now, when you combine it with Luminary, yeah, he's a much better support, since that damage buff will help his teammates overpower the enemies and win duels. But most of the time, even with a Luminary buff, most tanks that Jenos heals struggle to stay alive against the harsh DPS they face while battling on point, and just end up dying when someone like Pip could have effortlessly kept them alive. And what about when Jenos picks a talent that's not Luminary? Well, then he just gives a measly 180 healing per second, and that's it. While Power Cosmium helps his teammates score easy kills, and Binary Star lets Jenos go and frag out by himself, neither of those are truly that helpful if Jenos' teammates are dead from a lack of healing. Unless something changes, Jenos should really be seen as more of an off healer than anything. His healing just isn't potent enough to really be reliable on tanks, since it's so insignificant that I don't even bother maxing out Cauterize when I go against a solo Jenos. While he's great for pocketing damage champions and giving them juicy damage buffs, he leaves tanks out to dry unless he's got another healer working alongside him, like a hybrid Totemic Ward Grok, for example. Now, I'm not just going to sit here talking about how bad Jenos is without giving what I think would be an elegant solution to the problem. What I think could make Jenos a better healer is to give him percentage-based healing, similar to how Tyra's Fire or Sky's Poison Bolts work. Make him heal for something like 10% of a target's health per second. Since it lasts 10 seconds, it would heal a target to full HP by the end of its duration, regardless of their maximum health. This would make his healing roughly the same on damage champions, since it would heal a 2000 health champion for 200 healing per second. However, on a tank with 4000 health, it would heal for 400 healing per second, which still isn't near Pip's healing level, but it's much better than what he has currently, and it would give tanks more of a reason to pick up Rejuvenate for Jenos' healing. Also, I would nerf Luminary down to 10%, to make him not too overpowered on tanks, and also to tone down his power as a buffing support, since champions like Leon or Androxus can go absolutely wild with a 15% damage buff on them. This would still maintain Jenos' niche as a buffing support, but it would make him less annoying to deal with and synergize well with his buffed healing. Anyways, that's going to be the end of the video. What do you guys think about Jenos as an overall support? Do you agree that his healing is underwhelming, and do you like my solution to make it more effective? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and also make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload from me. Also, make sure to join the Discord server in the description to pick up tips, leave suggestions, and become a part of our active community. Also, huge shout out to the members of the channel for helping to make everything possible. I really appreciate all your support. And if you want to become a member today to unlock some cool new emojis and an exclusive role in the Discord server, then just click the join button right next to the subscribe button. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.